Well, it's my pleasure to welcome to Mattoon, Kirk Cameron. Welcome, Kirk.
Thank you. Good to be here in Mattoon.
In Mattoon. And, you could be doing movies, TV, but instead you are on a tour called the Love Worth Fighting For Tour. Tell us about it.
Sure. The Love Worth Fighting For Tour is a marriage event that is touring around the country. We're going to 30 cities this year. And I think we're on number 13 right now. And this is something that sprang out of the interest people had in the movie Fireproof. It turned out to be the surprise box office hit of 2008. And it showed everyone that people have a real hunger to learn about how to make their marriage strong and how to make it work. And so we put together this event, and we've been touring around the country, and people have been walking in with a lot of hurt and with a lot of questions, and walking out with answers and a lot of hope for the future.
And when we found out you were coming to Mattoon, my wife got us tickets, and she was a fan of yours and still is, and we've been married 24 years. And I said, now what is that whippersnapper from Hollywood going to tell me, a guy that's been married 24 years, about marriage?
I hear you.
So What are you going to tell me about it?
Well, that's a really good question. I'm not Dr. Phil, and I don't have a PhD in marriage counseling or anything like that. But I know that the same God that designed the universe also designed marriage. And I've gotten to know Him and His manual. And it's great to know that marriage came with instructions. And if we can open that up together, you and I can look and see the best advice in the world about marriage without a PhD. Because God's kind enough to make this understandable for us. And, I have the experience of just being married for 20 years. I see, the sinful plank hanging out of my own eye, so I don't have any delusions about being the perfect husband. And we have 6 kids and a busy life, and so we've been working at it for a long time.
6 kids, married 20 years. I've said this for years, that you give child stars a bad name, as far as you're totally the opposite of what we think of a child star. You're totally the opposite of an adult star, as far as your personal life. What is the secret? Of course, now the girls who watched you when they were teenagers and 10 years old, now they're 30 and 40 years old, and they still have that Seaver fever for Kirk. What is the secret for you keeping your marriage going after 20 years?
Yeah, well, you're basically asking me why am I not in and out of drug rehabs or dead by now, or at least on my 7th wife?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, someone once called me a Hollywood freak in that regard. You're not what Hollywood is supposed to turn out. You're supposed to be dead by now, or really fallen off the wagon. And I would say that I understand that, and I agree with that. And the big difference is, when I was 17 years old, someone took me to church, and I heard the gospel of Jesus Christ, and I started asking questions. And I came to believe that it was true, and I embraced it with all of my heart. And I've made different choices as a result of that. And so I haven't found any secret formula. I just believe that you turn your heart to God, and He turns His to you, and He doesn't leave you, and He doesn't abandon you. And I feel like in that regard, I've had the best help.
Whenever you come to an event like this, on this tour, like I said, you could be working in the movies, you could be doing something with TV, but you're choosing to do this live in different gymnasiums, auditoriums. What's it like personally for you to see everybody and hear what they have to say?
It's humbling when you see people coming in who are dealing with real issues in their family. There's no joy like family joy. When your daughter is doing her recital and you're watching, there is no joy and pride like watching your own children. When things are going well, life is good. But there's also no pain like family pain. And when something bad happens to a family member or to your marriage, the world might as well fall apart as far as you're concerned. And so when we see that, it gives us this great opportunity to offer real hope. And to watch couples leave holding hands, arms around each other, kneeling at an altar together, and the husbands praying for their wives, asking their wives for forgiveness, and vice versa, wives to their husbands, renewing their vows, canceling divorce proceedings. It's incredibly exciting and inspiring.
And you have to be excited at the response. You're not doing it to an empty gym. This thing's sold out, and you're selling out almost every place you go.
Which I think speaks to the hunger that is everywhere for people to get family right. Nobody wants to fail at family. I could lose my job. I could lose, to the competition in a sports game, but I don't want to fail at family, and I don't think other people do either.
When you were that kid on Growing Pains, did you ever picture yourself 20, 30 years doing what you're doing now?
No, not when I was working on Growing Pains, at least in the early years. And that's kind of how life is, like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. I kind of see it as you're looking down the street, but there's always a curve, and you just don't know what's around the corner. All you can do is make decisions in the moment, and to have personal convictions of moral values and basic principles and goals that guide you and help you filter out the bad stuff is hugely important, and that's got to be set in when you're young, when you're a teenager. Because often the decisions you make as a teenager and the friends that you surround yourself with determine the course that you're going to take, and then you just sort of mature in that course as you get older.
How old are you?
I'm 40 this year.
40 this year, 6 kids. How do you do that? How do you handle the 6 kids?
Well, I've got an amazing wife who loves being a wife and a mom more than anything in the world, and if that wasn't the case, I think we'd be in trouble. So when I'm on the road or if I'm working somewhere, she's with our kids, and we make them a priority, and we make our family a priority. If kids are a distraction, 6 kids is really hard, because that's a lot of distractions to your job, to your career, to your hobby, to your whatever. But at the same time, 6 kids is nothing if you're the Duggars. And I don't know how they do that, but my only thought is that they're making family their biggest project and their most important priority.
People know you from Growing Pains. You watched the Brady Bunch as you were growing up. Now you're living the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, that's it. 3 boys, 3 girls.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, but we don't have a maid named Alice that lives with us.
It would help, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
Pork chops and applesauce. Hey, we've got a big crowd tonight here in Mattoon.
Yes.
We've got a bigger crowd watching us on TV. What's the one thing you want to get out to them?
The one thing to get out to them? I think the title of this event says it, and that is that love is worth fighting for. When everything else is gone, love is the most important thing. The Bible says God is love, and that the greatest thing we can do is to love God and to love one another. And as husbands, we have this great opportunity to love our wife unconditionally. And we've got to keep fighting for our marriage and not slip into the trap of fighting against each other, but realizing that we're in this for life, we're in this together, and that if this ship goes down, I'm going down with you, and if you leave me, I'm going to follow you, and we're going to fight for this, and we're going to get to the victory on the other side of the battle.
Kirk, thanks so much for visiting with us. God bless you, my friend.
Thank you. You too.
Kirk Cameron, as we travel Central Illinois from A to Z. Scott England, WAND, Storm Center 17.